They say podcasts are going to replace books. I don't know about that, but I do think TRS clips will assist your learning process. Do you think, feel free not to answer this, do you think there's ever been any form of steroid use in cricket ever?
I don't think so. I have definitely not come across anything. I don't think the cricketers are still aware of that fact. I think the max they've gone is creatine.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's talk about creatine in cricket, because creatine, it's helped me so much in my weight training.
Two things are definitely, if you ask me this 10 years back, I was a Czech practitioner. I will talk on organic food.
Sure.
Now, definitely 2 supplements you have to use is, one is creatine, one is whey protein.
Okay. Not plant protein?
Again, it depends on. The best way to find out which protein works for you, put this Super Sapiens or Ultra Human and consume whey protein and see how much your glycemic index goes up. The one which doesn't go up and stays balanced is the one for you. And post consuming it, there should not be much of bloating. Some of them have bloating.
There's also pimple problems related
and
to
also
whey
some of them are not okay with whey concentrate. They're only okay with
isolate.
Some of them are okay only with hydrolyzed whey. So it depends on what suits you. And some of them are okay only with vegan sort of protein, plant protein, pea protein. Again, you need to shop and see what works for you.
From a cosmetic perspective, this is what I have figured, that a lot of people, especially Indian genetics for some reason, in urban centers, of course it's because of a bunch of reasons, but whey protein enhances pimples and acne as well. So a lot of young kids are kind of moving towards plant protein for the same reasons.
Vice versa also I've seen.
As in?
Like I've given vegan nutrition for a lot of people and they said doesn't suit me.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting allergies. One of our clients had reddening all over the body. So then I had to shift him to normal whey protein. So I've seen both sides.
Yeah, I love that Basu Shanker himself is talking about supplements on the show. We're still living in a generation of Indian kids where they're struggling to convince their parents about supplements in general. I strongly feel, especially in India where we are primarily vegetarian throughout the week, there is room for supplements in your diet if you can afford it. And say if it's out of your budget, at least have eggs. At least have, and if you're pure vegetarian, figure out what vegetarian protein sources are, but chase protein requirements. Very important.
Asians in general.
Asians?
They don't consume as much protein as the Western counterparts, and more so in the subcontinent.
What would you like to tell Indian parents who are not allowing their kids to take supplements? And you've trained Virat Kohli himself, you've trained MS Dhoni, these kind of people. What would you like to say?
Protein in every meal. Protein and good fats. I would say, when I say good fats, the good old butterfruit, if you can afford it, consume it as much as possible. Every day also is fun. A butterfruit a day keeps a doctor away. It's not that. It's not actually apple.
What? Butterfruit?
Butterfruit. Avocado.
Oh, okay.
Avocado. Avocado is a dream fruit. And on top of that, eggs. If you can't afford meat every day, at least eggs. Worst case, you can't afford this tofu. Okay. That's relatively cheaper. Dal. Okay. Choose any food items which is good in fats and protein in every meal. Because whether we like it or not, from morning to evening, all we do is consume carbohydrates.
Have you seen cricketers following ketogenic diets and all this?
They do try a few diets. One diet which has not worked, I would say, is intermittent fasting.
Has not worked?
I don't think it works for athletes because they lose muscle mass. When somebody loses muscle mass, when I say lean body mass, if they lose that, I lose my shit.
Okay.
If you lose muscle mass, what happens? Your ability to produce force goes down drastically. And that is the last thing you want as an athlete. You need to produce force. Intermittent fasting is for general clients.
Yeah.
You can try it out on odd occasions. As an athlete, your body composition is supposed to be in good stead. If it is not, then probably you can try it for a short while. But if you're losing muscle mass, stop. Your job is to produce force on a field of sport.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can't afford to compromise on that.
Let's speak about creatine, sir. Do cricketers in the modern Indian team use creatine?
Of course.
Everyone's on creatine.
I think most of them are aware and most of them are consuming in the right doses, and they're pretty cognizant about how to use it. In fact, they can give you a lecture on how to use it also.
When you're supplementing with creatine, some people take on a phase of loading where they take 10 grams ish.
I would say what I do, I initially introduce them 5 grams with breakfast.
Okay.
The reason with breakfast is I mean, I like to add creatine with food because the rate of bioavailability is much higher initially. Then second half, I split the dosage, one with breakfast and one just before training, 30 minutes. And if you do it for 2 months, your cell volume goes up.
You give 10 grams for 2 months?
No, not for 2 grams. First month is just 5 grams.
Okay.
And the second month, probably it's 3 and 3 or 4 and 4 grams.
Okay.
4 grams. And max is 8 grams, sometimes 10 grams. That is the max I've used.
Yeah.
Then I sort of deload.
There's also a whole phase of drinking a lot of water that you're supposed to take while loading.
I mean, that goes without saying. You need to hydrate yourself properly.
But it's even more on creatine when you're using creatine?
Again, what happened, this hype started some years back. I mean, I don't want to get into any controversy with regards to nutritionists or physicians who talk about this. But creatine,
so you're the authority. So let me just put that
like
also
if you look
across.
at the 1980s, okay, Linford Christie, Sally Gunnell, Mark Jackson, they were the first exponents of creatine. And they all won gold medals in the Olympics. They started the creatine revolution. And ever since, it has only taken off. And everyone now uses creatine. And it is absolutely safe. It has been time tested. Only request is, please do check your serum creatine levels, your blood work. Check your serum creatine levels. If you feel there's something altering with your serum creatine levels, consult a nephrologist. That is my only disclaimer here. Otherwise, it's absolutely safe to. If you're apparently healthy adults can consume creatine. And in my clinic, I've noticed that women who come especially from vegetarian backgrounds, they have very little creatine and they have a lot of aches and pains. When I start giving them a dose of creatine, their pain levels alleviate. And that is a boon for me.
What about phases without creatine? So, like, how do you bring your athletes off it? Like, and how long do you take them off?
I'll say 1 month on, 1 month off, 1 month on, 1 month off.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way to do it. And there can be a couple of months without creatine also. If you're a non-veg eater and you're a proper meat eater, I'll wean them off creatine. I'll only use it in phases.
Is there a place for red meat in professional sport?
All the time.
Okay. It's beneficial.
I feel it's highly beneficial. It's not only the red meat. Please eat the good part, the fat part, everything. Eat the meat in full. I'll give you an example of Eskimos.
Okay.
There's a good book called Good Calories, Bad Calories by Gary Tubes.
Yeah.
The Eskimos, they had only meat all their life. They never had a case of heart attack. The first Eskimo came to the city. He was introduced to burgers and pizzas and stuff like that. And had his first heart attack. So he was absolutely fine with huge amount of red meat.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this clip. If you want to learn more about this topic, we've curated a playlist just for you. And here's a link to the whole episode.